Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be creating the view and the controller aspect of our application. Let's go ahead and get started and see what that entails. Let's head over to the top left, clicking File, followed by New, and then Liferay Module Project. We have to give this project a name. Let's call it gradebook-web. And all of the web components, in this case a portlet component, is going to be called -web in the Liferay world. Let's uncheck the use default location, and let's tuck this in with the rest of our modules within the gradebook application. So that will be within the gradebook folder. We're going to keep the project template name the same, and let's go ahead and click Next. For the component class name, we're going to call it gradebook. For the package name, we're going to call it com.liferay.training.gradebook.web. Once you have all of those things typed out, again, just double check to make sure everything is spelled correctly, and then we'll click Finish. You'll see the progress bar down at the bottom right. Once that has completed, feel free to go into the project that we just created, the gradebook web. So expanding out the gradebook web, the first thing we're going to do is declare dependencies. Let's head down to the build.gradle, and we'll head over to our exercises resource, and we'll copy and paste the dependencies found within the exercise. All right, so we'll go ahead and paste those. I'll go ahead and format and then save the file. Again, whenever you add dependencies within the build.gradle, always be sure to Gradle refresh. Otherwise, there is the off chance that those dependencies will not make it. If you want to double check that the dependencies are indeed there, you can head over to Project and External Dependencies and look for the dependencies that you just declared. So we have the function, we have Clay, and then Gradebook API. So everything looks good. The dependencies we just declared are indeed within our class path. So very good. Let's head over to our portlet component, which is going to be the widget in the UI. And let's declare a couple of properties over within the component class. So source main Java, and then web.portlet. Since we're adding a new property, within that property attribute, go ahead and add a comma at the very last one. Let me turn back on line numbers here. So here on line number 25, head back over to your exercises resource, and we'll go ahead and grab those two properties and add them within our portlet component, and then save along the way. So this property here on line 26 is placing the widget in the UI in a specific section when we're adding widgets. That section is going to be called category.training, and then using some keys, we might change the name to just something like training. We'll see what that looks like pretty soon. And then this next property here is basically saying by setting this property to false, we can only have one instance of this widget on any given page. Change it to true, and we can have as many instances of that widget as we would like. All right, let's go ahead and save the file if you haven't done so already. Next thing we're going to do is change the fully qualified name, or just the name of the portlet. So typically speaking, we like to have the name of the portlet as the fully qualified name of the portlet class, or the component class. So you can see here the name is almost there. Between web and gradebook portlet, we just need to add portlet and then that underscore like so. So this is best practice in the Liferay world, making sure that the name of the portlet is the fully qualified name of the portlet component class. So sticking with the theme of the name of the portlet, we have a resource file called language.properties that also contains the various names or the key value pairs of the name of the portlet. So there's a lot of different keys or properties that can be used to try to get the name of the portlet. So we're going to add those and make sure that the name comes out exactly as we would like it. So the next section, the next snippet, we'll go ahead and copy that, heading over to Liferay Developer Studio, and then just adding that with the rest of the properties here within language.properties. So wherever these various keys may be located within our JSPs, or maybe just Liferay in general, the name of the portlet is always going to be coming out as gradebook. We've created our portlet component. We've defined a few properties within the component annotation over in the gradebook portlet class, right? We made sure that the name follows Liferay best practice by making sure that the name is the fully qualified name of the portlet component class. And then finally, language.properties contains all of the various properties or key value pairs that we may be using throughout the exercises to ensure that the name of the portlet comes out exactly as we would like it. Let's do a final check just to make sure that everything is good. I'll do a check over on my end. Make sure you do the same thing on your end. Okay, so everything looks good on my end. Let's go ahead and deploy the portlet. Make sure everything is saved. You can use Control-Shift-S to save all files, or Command-Shift-S if you're on a Mac. Right, we'll expand this out, making sure everything else is there. And we'll go ahead and drag and drop the gradebook-web into the server, taking a look at the console to make sure that it deploys. So there it goes. Took a little bit of time there. Again, if you want to check the Go shell, feel free to do so, right-clicking the server, typing LB within that terminal, and it is active. So that's good. I'll close that window there. And then heading over to my instance of Liferay, I'll go ahead and sign in. So test.liferay.com. My password is test. So whatever it might be on your end, go ahead and type that in. All right, let's go ahead and add this application, this portlet component, or this widget as we call it, to the page. Clicking on the add button up here at the top right, waiting for the menu to open up, we'll head over to the widget section. You'll see the section here, category.training, where we'll find the gradebook and then go ahead and add it to the page. We'll see hello from the gradebook, and assuming that you see this as well, congratulations, we have deployed our portlet component. Again, here in the UI is called a widget. So very good. So this wraps it up for this part of the exercise, and I will see you in the next video.